Children in Need week like you've ever known before, that's for sure. But there is plenty for you to do on TV on Friday nights. We've all got that to look forward to. We've been finding out where your money goes for BBC Children in Need. Ahead of the big show on Friday. The Herefordshire Young Carers Club provides support and respite for children and young adults who are caring for a family member of any sort. So we thought we'd invite Bethany from Leicester onto the show. Now, Bethany cares for her younger brother. She's been telling me just how vital the club is to her and how vital the funds they get from Children in Need are to an organisation that doesn't receive government or council funding. This is Bethany's story.
So I'm a 16-year-old that cares for my 3-year-old brother Malachi. He suffers with cystic fibrosis, and for anyone that doesn't know what cystic fibrosis is, it's a lifelong limited condition that is inherited by our parents. It causes thick, sticky mucus to build up in the lungs and the digestive system, which then obviously causes the breathing to become harder. And some people that suffer with cystic fibrosis also have continuous lung infections. There's a lot of medication and physiotherapy along with a nebulizer needed to make your everyday life easier. So someone with cystic fibrosis only have a life expectancy of mid-40s.
Right, okay, so it's hard. It must be really hard for you and your family, Bethany.
Yeah, I would say the worst part of being a young carer is the 2-week hospital stays. So for someone with cystic fibrosis, if they catch any type of infection or illness, it can cause a 2-week hospital stay, which then for a young carer like me, you have a lot more responsibilities and it just makes you very emotional and impacts your mental health. It often splits up the family.
That's the problem. So your parents are, they have to divide.
Yes. One of the best parts of being a young carer is the special bond that you end up having. And you get more independence and skills to your later life that is obviously mastered at a young age.
Yeah, it is a very responsible thing to face, actually. Do you feel the sense of responsibility and feel that you actually you will be able to handle things potentially better than any other 16-year-old girl when you're a bit older?
Yes, definitely. It prepares you for the later life that you're about to expect, really.
I see. And what difference has lockdown made? I mean, how, as we moved into March, the first lockdown, how did that affect the family and your role as a young carer? Because presumably you came out of school, you all had to stay in together, and with cystic fibrosis being a lung problem often, you had to really shield and isolate as a family.
Yeah, so like I say, back in January you had no worries. The mornings were rushed trying to get physio, nebulizer and medications done before the school, but you could still go around your daily life. Whereas if you fast forward to March and the first lockdown, it was a constant worry with anxiety. Loads of precautions were added because of shielding, and obviously young carers had to go online, so a young carers like me couldn't escape our responsibilities.
Yeah.
So having the activities kind of took away some of the pressure.
Right, and this is where the Young Carers Club steps in?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Young Carers is an organisation that was set up by Susan Brace. It is there to support the young carers that have someone at home with a disability, illness or addiction. It's somewhere where you can go on a Monday, Wednesday or Friday night, and for 2 hours a night, and it just gives you that time away from your caring responsibilities. But we are mainly funded by Children in Need themselves.
Right, so you obviously must be, grateful to Children in Need and Herefordshire Young Carers Club, but also everybody that raises money.
Yeah, exactly. So the funding that is made in the month of November around Children in Need is the funding that we need to keep our club open. Without the funding from Children in Need, our club wouldn't be able to continue. Without that money donated, we cannot continue as a group.
Yeah, and it must be a huge relief for you, not just to have that distraction and something there for you, but also to interact with other people in the same situation as you. That's got to be vital.
Yeah, so it is really nice and it's so understanding, and you've got to understand the other young carers there. But it's nice. If you've had a stressful day, you can just go to Hereford Young Carers, and you can just relax for the next 2 hours and not have to worry, but you also feel like you're not alone.
That's the thing. It's the camaraderie, it's the taking your mind off it and everything else. Well, I have to say, Bethany, your whole situation sounds like you're really handling it brilliantly.
Thank you.
You're so upbeat, and I love the story of the special bond that you have with your brother.
Yeah, like the money that is donated from the people themselves that donate to children in need is just amazing, because normally the money would be going to things like trips and supplies for the club or to pay for bills. But obviously throughout the first lockdown we couldn't meet up. So Susan and Carol provided us activities and challenges to do while we were at home.
Fantastic.
And if we needed any supplies, we could just ask and they would make sure it was given to us in some form or fashion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So none of this would be possible without the funding from Children in Need and the generous people that donate. So mainly from the bottom of Hereford Young Carers' hearts, we want to say a massive thank you.
Bless her. Bless her heart. Bethany from Leicester, who is very heavily involved in the Herefordshire Young Carers Club, who have received funding from BBC Children in Need, and that's her official thank you to all of you who contribute to the fundraising, give money, help get other people to give money, and that's kind of what it's all about on Friday. So please dig deep if you can. I think this year we need it more than ever. The big day for this year's Children in Need 2020, Friday the 13th of November.